Hey YouTubers, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Stasha. And we are traveling full-time, living in our camper, and we've been using Starlink for RV for 3 months now. Everyone asks us, is Starlink worth it? So let's get right into it. Jacob, what do you think? Is Starlink worth it?
I personally love Starlink and think it's absolutely worth it.
I have to disagree with you. I just do not think Starlink is worth it. Why do you think it's worth it?
My number one reason why Starlink is worth it is remote internet access where no cell service is available, as long as you have a clear view to the north sky.
There have been a couple places where we didn't get cell service, such as Joshua Tree, Death Valley, and fortunately we had the Starlink, and it was allowing us to be able to work remote off the grid, and we could even connect our phones to it. It was amazing. I do have to agree with you on that point. It would have been nice if we had it in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Or a couple other places along the way where we didn't have service and had to drive to work.
My second reason is uncapped data usage. Where most cellular plans are capped at 100 gigabytes, with Starlink, you have unlimited data usage. So if you're a heavy data user doing conference calls, gaming, or doing a lot of uploads and downloads, Starlink is for you. And my third reason, faster internet speeds than cellular data usage. Now, this varies at times with the RV version. We do get deprioritized if we're in a populated area over the local networks, but still, you're still able to download and use the product. You just may be slowed down a little bit at peak usage. So to recap, I personally think Starlink is worth it. I'm an entrepreneur and YouTube creator. I'm managing 3 channels and uploading regularly, so I'm using a lot of data. Also, we like to travel to remote places where we often don't have cell service, and this way we can connect back up and work remotely. That way we don't have to load up in the truck and drive to get cell service just to work out of the truck for the day. So Stasha, what are your reasons why Starlink is not worth it?
Well, first, I have daily video conference calls, and I've experienced a lot of lag as well as dropped calls relatively often, and it is so frustrating.
And keep in mind, Starlink is still relatively new. They need more satellites in orbit for a more seamless service.
Remember this? Our Netgear Nighthawk at&t Wi-Fi device with dual broadband antenna. I often find myself reverting back to this for my conference calls because it holds a more steady connection for me. I don't experience the lag. I don't experience as many dropped calls. I mean, come on. They both have their technical issues, but this one seems to be way more reliable than the Starlink for my personal use. Next, the Starlink version that we own can't be used in motion. So if Jacob wants to upload a video while we're driving to our next campsite, can't do it on Starlink. Not to mention, each time we get to a new campsite, we set it up, Jacob sets it up. And then when we depart our campsite, Jacob also has to take it down. That is an increased amount of work that goes into arriving and departing from each campsite.
Recently, there was a flat-mounted RV version that was released by Starlink for an additional cost, and it can be used in motion.
Another thing is Starlink requires a lot of power, and we had to install a 1,000-watt power inverter so that way it had constant AC power supply to the Starlink. For comparison, this Netgear Nighthawk at&t device has an internal battery, can be run on DC power, and can also be run unplugged. Super convenient while we're living in our camper full time, especially because power is gold.
Yes, and it can be used in motion.
Oh yeah, and it can be used in motion. But also at night, once the sun goes down, we have to turn our Starlink off because it'll just drain our batteries all night long. Super frustrating.
Now we are using standard deep cycle lead acid batteries. I think it would really help out if we switched over to lithium so that we can maintain a better power source throughout the evening.
And lastly, the cost of Starlink is steep. When you think about it, our initial cost for getting Starlink up and running, plus shipping and handling, hardware, $700. Not to mention, we pay a monthly fee of $135 a month just to have Starlink internet. So when you think about it, that's a lot of money for internet.
It is. One advantage though is with the RV version, service can be paused and resumed at any time. So to answer your question, is Starlink worth it? We're clearly camper divided. This will vary based on your professional needs or as a casual user, depending on what your requirements are. If you have something to add to this conversation, please drop a comment below.
We hope you found this video helpful. We would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to our channel. That would mean a lot to us. We're posting weekly videos for your entertainment.
Thanks for watching.